Well, good morning. Welcome to another sunrise session where we talk about life, love, and everything else to help you manifest your dreams into your reality. Today is Wednesday, and Wednesday is ruled by Mercury, right? Ruler of Gemini, planet of communication, right? So today is all going to be about what messages that you need to hear, and it feels like time to reveal some sacred truths because we are at this boundary, this borderline between our old life and our new life. We're between the liminal space between our old life and our new life. We're still shedding layers. We're still shedding the people, places, and things that do not serve our highest good. Heavy on the people today. It's the 27th. Oh, yeah, that makes it a 9 day. And nine is the completion of cycles. We already know that old cycles have to end so new cycles can begin. The closer we get to the full moon in Sagittarius on Sunday, right? The blue moon that's coming up is the harder, the more challenging it's going to be because whatever or whoever you haven't let go of yet, it's going to be made painfully clear what you need to do, what needs to be done. The question is, are you going to have the courage to do it? If this is your first time here, hello, hello, hello. I'm Etta Mystic Healer from Dreams711.com. That being said, let's tap into today's messages. We're going to start with, of course, the collective messages, and then we're going to get into the zodiac sign messages, right? Yesterday, as we were ending the live, we put on some music, but I didn't realize that you guys couldn't hear the music. So it was a 90s theme album that Spotify had pulled up, and it was an instrumental track for that song from the Titanic, My Life Will Go On, or something like that. And it was all about a push. I believe we ended the live with moving forward at all costs. Moving forward regardless of what you need to do, and that message continues today. Do the hard thing because that hard thing is what's standing between you and your happily ever after. We know that there is blessings, a whole lot of blessings coming in for the collective, but this what we found out during the soul session yesterday afternoon. A lot of you don't realize it's coming because you've been in the season of suffering. You've been in the wilderness, you've been in the cave far too long. Your eyes have adjusted to the darkness, and now that's all that you see. You are reminded once again that the best is yet to come, right? You are a lender, not a borrower. Where you're at right now is not where you're meant to stay. Even if you're doing really, really good and feel, oh, yeah, I could do this, this is comfortable. It gets even better for you, beloved. Holy Spirit, what else does the collective need to hear on this beautiful Wednesday? Feel free to put any thoughts, feelings, reactions you're having in the comments, right? Or in the chat if you're live with us right now. And I'll get to them as soon as we're done with the channeling. Thank you, thank you, thank you for spending this part of your morning, your day, whatever moment this is, in your timeline with Holy Spirit, the Soul Tribe, and me. How are you guys doing on this beautiful, beautiful Wednesday? Holy Spirit, what is the vibe on this Wednesday? What is the vibe on this Wednesday? What does the collective need to know? And heavy, 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 because this started to come up last night on the energy of partners coming forward to express something that has been hidden. And some of you are getting a little bit of anxiety about it. Just because it's hidden doesn't mean it's bad. They could have been embarrassed to tell you what they need to tell you, but under the energy of this full moon that's coming in, on Sunday. People cannot help but speak their truth, right? Everybody's being guided, not just you, the awakened ones, the chosen ones, but everyone is being guided to really speak their truth. So expect that to come through. As you're coming into the live, we're just starting getting the collective message, and then we'll get into the messages by sign. And let's get some zodiac for some clarity because we're going to start here, right? We're going to start there. For the person that was worrying, you have nothing to worry about. The King of Wands energy with the Four of Wands. Whatever information comes out today, whatever information comes out this week can only be for your benefit, can only add to your peace, can only add to your stability. As you're coming into the live, don't forget to like and subscribe. We have a goal, you know. Holy Spirit, what else does the collective need to know on this? Ooh, oh, we're gonna leave those right there because that came out so ferociously. We're gonna just leave that right there, right? Bridging between the two piles for whatever is going on over here. But I wanted to start here because this card, right, came out face up 19, which is 10, which brings us to 1, the beginning of cycles. Whatever you've been called to end, whatever changes you've been called to do, whatever you've been called to release, release it, bury it, throw some flowers on it, say a prayer or not, grieve it or not, and then walk away and then don't look back. Whatever you have been called to release, and it feels like this is releasing a person for some of you that you were called to release a very, very long time ago. There's no more holding on to dead weight. There's no more holding on to potential. This person either can help you or they can't. This person is either your helpmate or they're standing in between you and finding your true helpmate. Some of you, especially if you have a higher spiritual calling, you have some beautiful things going on in the world, you tend to attract partners that want to benefit from your amazing energy. Partners that may not necessarily want to put in the work. They want to eat the fruit of the tree, but not necessarily tend to the tree. They want to eat from the garden, but not necessarily tend to the garden. Anybody who's eating off of your success, friends, family, lovers, whoever, it's time to be done with them. That is further clarified by higher power, Knight of Pentacles, and suffering in silence. Now, this is a twofold message for the burying and putting things behind you, right? That is for someone in the collective. But I'm also picking up on Virgo energy and strangely Gemini energy with this higher power. One of the hidden truths when it comes to what's the tea between you and your person or what you need to know about you and your person, some of you, not all of you, but some of you are dealing with a Virgo Gemini who's been suffering in silence during this period of what feels like no contact, or you guys speak about just the basics or just the kids, right? Just the formalities. There's this, I want to say wall, but it's not really a wall, right? Because walls are hard and thick and sometimes impassable, but it feels like there's this sheet or maybe this blanket in between you. You're going to find out that your person was scared to move forward because of their past, right? Things that they prayed about and it didn't work out for them, and how they saw life show up for them, and certain childhood experiences that have prevented them from hmm, showing up in love the way that you expected. Expect them to tell you that now. For those of you who have someone that comes and pours out their heart, because I could already feel your shoulders going up and your muscles tightening, like I'm not gonna do that. And there's no excuse for how they treated me. Pause. Pause. Let me teach you something. When it comes to how we love, we learn that from our primary caregivers. Heart stop. Unless we end up being a therapist, right? Going into counseling like I did, right? Becoming a counselor, right? Going into therapy. Unless we do the work to heal that inner child that was broken by a broken parent, which was probably broken by a broken parent. It's a generational thing, right? We have no idea that we can't love the way we're supposed to love because of something that happened when we were kids. I see this all the time in my practice. Before I started doing mystical work full time, and as I continue to do it, it comes up almost every single time there is an incident, especially around men and their purpose and their worth. They're taught from a long time ago that they are a thing, right? They are a utility to serve, right? To do, to provide, and to tuck in their feelings. A lot of times, it's not that somebody doesn't love you, right? They just don't know how to show you love because they were never taught. They were only taught that they're supposed to show up as the provider. They're only supposed to put food on the table. And they attracted partners that demanded this of them. And they suffered in silence until they met you. You, beloved, because of your light, because of your beauty, and not the outside beauty, the stuff on the inside, because of your empathy. You are the first person that let this energy, right? Because it could be a masculine or it could be a feminine. No, you're the first one to let them know that it is safe to love, truly love, and be loved. This is someone who's been spending a lot of time when they're not talking to you and you're thinking they're talking to somebody else. For some of you, yeah, they are. For others of you, they are deepening that connection with Source. They are deepening that connection with the Most High to try to figure out why they are the way they are, why they are fumbling a good thing. I keep hearing, what's wrong with me? This person needs to understand there's nothing wrong with them. So when they come and pour out their heart about what happened to them as a kid, listen and please listen without judgment so you do not accidentally cause further injury. And I know, what about my feelings, Etta? And what about when they did this and they did that? This is what forgiveness is for. When we talk about burying things and putting things in the past, some of the things you're being asked to bury, you're asked to be a big girl, a big guy, and bury, is those negative feelings you have about your person. You can forgive them and then decide to never deal with them again because they're just going through too much, right? But this is also an opportunity to be a good steward of unconditional love and hold space for them, right? Whether you guys stay together or not, you could just be that cool friend that they could pour out their heart to because they're not ready to get into therapy. They're not ready to sit with a soul therapist, right? A spiritual advisor, right? Hold space for them to do the healing work. There's great, what we call benediction that gets received when we're called to do a hard thing for somebody else, that selfless act for somebody else. There are rewards that follow that come from the Most High. And another thing about the Knight of Pentacles, he is the slowest knight in the deck. Whatever this person was dragging their feet to do, it was taking them forever to do. It's about to be done. Hold that vision of your person, of love, if you're single, right, as their happy, whole, and healed self without judgment. Okay? Okay. Next, we have talk about blessings. Talk about blessings. You are reminded because of your light, because of your empathy, because of your knowledge, your wisdom, your understanding, right? Supreme mathematics. Because of who you are oftentimes sent into people's lives to help bring them back to source, to help bring them back to the divine, to turn non believers into believers just by holding space. You don't have to get up on your soapbox and preach about the goodness of the Lord and bring. Just by holding a safe space for someone, you give them an opportunity to heal. Do not forget, we attract what we are. So if someone has gone through their whole life being told, right, big boys don't cry, boys don't do this, men don't do that, they attract people that reinforce that ideology. And every time they go through a situation, their heart gets, sh- it closes more and more and more. It literally shuts down. And then you come around and they start feeling feelings they didn't even know that they could feel. You would be surprised at just how big of an impact your presence alone makes in somebody's world. If you are a highly spiritual person, you are a mystic, you are a tarot reader, you are a high priest, a high priestess. One of your major things to do in this lifetime is show up and love unconditionally. Whatever you put out in the world will return to you. Now, with this envy and soulmate card coming out, and oh, Jesus, the K word, karmics, right? Followed by a mature woman in Two of Pentacles. Whatever information comes out about your person, because don't forget, if you've been following the readings all month, right? Since the middle of April, really, right? We've heard about, of course, we've heard about karmics trying to stop what's coming. We've heard that in certain situations, some of you have had your person lay down the law with the karmics, draw that boundary, right? Establish new boundaries with old friends. And everybody's like, wait, why are you acting? Is it because of the collective? Right? You never did this before. You never did that before. Why are you acting brand new? So your person has been dealing with the fallout of essentially growing up and stepping into their purpose. Any blocks, and we heard this earlier in the week, to this union, right, has ended, right? We heard yesterday that it's time's up for any third party intervention, but they're not going out easily, right? They're still trying to throw shade in the dark and in the light. Some of you are going to get that, hey girl, I know you don't know me message in your DMs. Ignore it. Don't even stoop down to their level. Don't let them harvest your energy, right? Really lean into your power, your maturity, your wisdom to see what you're going to respond to and what you're just going to turn over to your guides to handle it. And you're being asked to turn it over to your guides. You're better off turning it over to your guides because in certain situations, these karmics will stoop to the lowest of lows to make sure that they get into your head so bad that no matter what your person comes and tells you, you're not going to believe them. You're going to believe the karmic. They've been working on their speech, on their script for weeks now, mm, especially if they know your person wants to marry you, whether if you know that or not. Some of these karmics, hmm, some of you are dealing with a divine masculine, just realize that they are a divine masculine. Be prior to meeting you, they are someone who struggled with letting go of people. They got a little bit of what they need from Kima, Keisha, and Pam, right? And Rebecca and Dorothy and Stephanie and Michelle, right? And that was good for them because that meant that they could get their needs met across the board without having to commit to anybody. This is that person that's been coming up in the readings that if Spirit wants to say non-committal, but it's not non-committal in the traditional sense. This is someone who probably seen because it feels like they saw some stuff between their mother and their father, and they were like, "Yeah, I'm never gonna do that. I'm never gonna let a woman do that to me. I'm never gonna be that man. So I'm just gonna have Kima, Keisha, and Pam, and everybody's gonna be on board because if they do, they're just going to agree to it. And I don't have to feel any feelings. They're gonna love me because of what I bring to the table. I don't have to perform." Somebody's trying to work out their mother wound by having all of these people around. And a lot of the people that they dated stayed around as friends, friends that they can lean onto, maybe get a piece from time to time, but never have that deep connection to until they met you. That all changed. All of a sudden, they went from being the playboy to somebody who wanted to be the husband. And at first, they didn't even realize that that was the direction that they were going until friend after friend kept saying, "You're acting brand new. What is it about the collective that has you wanting to change how you've been moving for your whole life?" That's what's taking them so long to get out of that narrative, to untangle themselves from all these entanglements that they've had for the past 10, some of you 20 years. And you think these karmics are not gonna hate you? They're not gonna come for you? I just heard one of them saying, "How are you going to give her," meaning you, the collective, "everything I wanted?" And your person had no answers. See, the thing is, when you meet your person, they're your person. You show up for your person the way the divine has instructed you to do, especially if they were born on April 22nd or in Aries, on the Aries Taurus cusp. This balance that's coming into your relationship is a long time coming. And even though the karmics are going to do everything they can to stop it because they're jealous that you get who they wanted, that was always the plan. If this person was meant to be with the karmic, have a divine purpose with the karmic, they would have stayed with the karmic and never had met you. They would have met you, seen you, and it would be like seeing Waldo, right? They would have no emotional attachment to you. But you, especially if you've been in separation with this person, has become their North Star. Some of you may decide to put this person in your past because their past is just too much. And you know these karmics are going to always try to interfere in the union, but your guides are asking you to rethink that. Remember your power. Remember the power of your word. Remember your ability to speak things into existence. If this person truly loves you, there's no karmic that's going to stop you unless you let them. Don't forget to subscribe and like the live. Now we're going to get into what this craziness is. The karmics are always around, right? Because they're soulmates too. Don't forget that. Don't forget that we're all soulmates guiding each other home. And to get one another home, there's some hard lessons that need to be learned along the journey, especially the lesson of rewriting our script, rewriting the narrative, not letting the story we were told about what we're supposed to be doing as a kid, right? Boys don't do that. Girls don't do this, right? Those harsh conversations, especially if you were born in the 80s and 90s. These millennial babies, these Y2K babies and younger, they have they have it better. Right, because the world has a better understanding of mental health and how important it is to speak positively into your children and not let your hurts become their hurts. So they're faring a lot, a lot better, right? 70s babies, forget about it, right? They definitely had it the hardest. 70s babies and Older definitely had it the hardest with the gender roles and who's supposed to do what and who's emotional and who's not. We all have that duality within. We all have that masculine, feminine energy within. Our feelings are part of our intuition. They are our guiding light. They are what lets us know what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing. So when we stuff them in, that's when the chaos starts and they want it to stop, right? This has completely turned into a full on a love reading. This mess that came out definitely feels like somebody who knows that they messed up. Somebody that, and this is not for everybody, you've given chance after chance after chance, and they fumbled you every single time. They could be a heavy drinker. They could be someone who tends to go to the bar or the lounge and hang out with friends to mask the fact that they're feeling feelings. They self-medicate this way, right? Somebody that you turned your back on, right? Is realizing that this time you're not coming back. And your guides say if you were called to release them, release them. Some of you needs to walk away, close that door for good. Leave them on red, leave them on delivered for good. See that, "Hey, are you up?" text that they sent at 2 a.m. at 5 p.m. the next day. Some of you really need to put up those strong boundaries. Some of you, it's you that needs to establish a new boundary with an old person, not to teach them a lesson, but to help them decide whether they want to stay in low vibrational activities in the low vibrational field, or do they want to elevate? Do they want to ascend? Do they want to head over to the land of milk and honey with you? They have to make that decision. And honestly, they need to make that decision in isolation on their own, freeing themselves of everything that handicapped them, that have prevented them from showing up, not just in love, right? But for themselves. This is somebody who's been heavy in the energy of not only masking their feelings, but creating all types of diversions, having all types of things set up. It's like a chessboard, right? Having all the pieces laid out just right so that nobody can come near them. And having never felt feelings until they met you. Good. That is supposed to spark their awakening. If you've been called to leave someone in the past, with them. It's not to say that they're going to stay there, right? Because they might have that Hail Mary, right? At the end, it's towards the end of the fourth quarter, right? They might come through, but you won't know until you fully release them, mind, body, and soul. When we say things are dead and buried, throw some flowers on them, say a prayer for them. Sometimes, yeah, we still have resurrections. Sometimes we still have Lazarus moments. And not to say that your person will have this, because what they're being called to do in this moment, on this day, before the blue moon gets here, is to finally answer the call that the Most High has been sending out to them pretty much their entire life. They have to do this between themselves and the Most High. So if you've been called to leave someone in isolation, leave them. Either way you spin it, either way you spin it. Somebody else, mm, or this person, you will have your happily ever after. You will have that beautiful love that you've been dreaming of, hoping for, wishing for, that fairy tale that you had. Well, pause. Have you created your vision of love? Those of you who know me from the Clock app know that we talk about listening to Mariah Carey's vision of love, feeling all the feelings, and writing down what that means for you. What does partnership mean for you? Are you the partner? Can you be the partner that you're looking for? Are you showing up as the person who already has this relationship? Are you open to what it will look like once it manifests into your reality? Don't forget to like the live, guys, and subscribe. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for spending part of your day with us. And when the live is over, you go about your day, make a moment to create your vision of love with or without this person. But for some of you, and you know who you are, you need to completely detach, right? Gemini energy is very heavy. I think we said Pisces earlier. We're going to find out more when we get to the specific signs. But yeah, somebody's deep in their head. Pisces, Gemini, Cancer, Aquarius, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Virgo. Somebody's definitely in the energy of thinking about how to manifest a new beginning with you, but they're stuck. Stuck if stuck on wondering what will change if they speak their truth. They spoke their truth to their friends and dealt with the fallout. But now that you've turned your back on them, now that you're moving on, side note, some of them, they know you're moving on because they got a reading on you. Some of them, they know now that you've taken the stance of leaving them behind, what's coming for you next. And they want to stop it because they want it to be them. They want you to have that happy ever after with them. But the question is, are they willing to do the work? Are they willing to step up, be the person that they've been called to be many, many years ago? Or are they going to just stay the same? The space that has come between you guys, and this is heavily, 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 heavily for people who are in separation. Others of you who are still with your person, yeah, you could expect the karmic interference this week. Move accordingly and don't let them people get under your skin. But those of you in separation, yeah, they're thinking about you. Yeah, they're thinking about how to make things right. But are they going to actually do it? That is to be determined once you completely walk away. And once you completely walk away, you may not, you might forgive this person, but it feels like some of you won't even take them back, and that's okay. That's a lesson that they're going to have to learn. That's an unhappiness they're going to have to deal with for the rest of their life. We all have an opportunity to make better decisions. We all have an opportunity to change and shift, right? We all get visits from the Holy Spirit and get these downloads and get intuitive nudges. Some of us ignore it. Others of us, we say, hey, what does that mean? Lord, what do I need to do? Right? We pray about it. We call our ancestors. We speak to our spirit guides. Hmm. And some of us even speak to our spirit guides and they give us direction and we're like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. Cool. Cool. And it feels like some of you have a person like that as well, right? They got divine information about the relationship and they're like, yeah, I'm not ready to do that. So can we put the collective on pause? Mm-mm. Time doesn't stop for nobody. And your guides, their guides as well, want you to know that, yeah, the show must go on. Enough time has been given for this person to right their wrongs. Now, some of you are going to get your replacement. Some of you at the very last minute, when you're like, okay, it's over, I'm good, moving on, that's when your person shows up in a new way. But you got to hold space to let that happen in its own time and its own way. That being said, let's get into the messages, see the tea, what the tea is for each sign, because that felt heavy. And it felt like, if I'm being honest about this karmic situation and the person and the childhood trauma and being, feels like I'm reading for like two people. So if that's your situation, don't hesitate to put it in the chat so we could talk more about it and you can prepare yourself for the other truths that are going to come out this week. We heard earlier, I want to say around Easter last month, that we were heading towards a now or never moment, right? People know that they needed to make those hard decisions. Time's up. You either do or you don't. Temperance and the hermit at the cut. Healing. right? Going into isolation, going into hermit mode. If your person hasn't done that already, they need to. They really need that time alone. They really need to be left on red, left undelivered. You really need to detach all your energy. So all the progress that they make or not is all on them. It's between them and the Most High. It's between them and their higher self, right? Without you helping them energetically. They need to do this on their own. Jeez, that's so heavy. Because this person actually has a really big heart. They just kept it under lock and key for so very long. That being said, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and or Rising, speaking about walking away. Five of Baskets, it's the Five of Cups, right? That crying over spilt milk energy. Somebody in your field, somebody from your past is definitely could be a Gemini coming in to tell you this, or somebody, especially if they know you're about to make it forever with somebody else, is going to come in. It's trying to muster up the courage to tell you that it should be them. They want to be the one that loves you forever. But do they have everything that it takes? And I look up to see 8:11 on the clock to love you forever. They're even struggling with facing their own inadequacies. Knowing that they can't give you what you want, they still don't want to let you go. Be careful with people like that because if they are not going to do the things to get to be the person that you need, they're definitely going to slow you down on your journey, not just in love, but in every area of your life. Don't forget to like the live and subscribe, right? Your guides, the T for Gemini, right? Especially if you're dealing with a water sign, is that you know those messages we've been getting about the runner becoming the chaser? Despite their inadequacies, they don't want to let you go. This is someone who's going to come running in before this full moon, right? To tell you what they're feeling. And it's going to catch you off guard because for some of you, it's going to be like, after all these years, after all this time, or what? Right? They're acting very karmic in this setup. Because again, it feels like whoever this is that's going to come running to you, they're not a good partner for you right now. They would have to do a lot in order to be a good partner for you. Cancer, Sun, Moon, and or Rising with the Three of Knives, which is the Three of Swords, that heartbreak, that disappointment. Mhm. Feels like you've been on your healing journey and working towards releasing people, places, and things, putting things behind you, doing the healing work. And just when you do the healing work, right, just when you're getting comfortable with sitting with the healing work, you find out, right, some information is falling into your lap that's going to confirm you did the right thing. Some information is going to fall into your lap this week, Cancer, that confirms walking away from that person was the right thing to do. And for the rest of you, if you want to test this, right, if you're still unsure about, it hasn't been working out and I think I'm ready to move on and I just don't know, say it out loud. Ask, say it in your heart, right? So you know that it comes from the Most High. It's undeniable that it comes from the Most High and not a monitoring spirit or your mind playing tricks on you. Say in your heart, if walking away from so and so is the right thing to do, show me a red apple in the next hour. Show me a gold car. Show me a daffodil, right? Make it really, really specific. And when you get your confirmation, honor it as such and continue to do the healing work, dearest Cancer. Leo, Sun, Moon, and or Rising with the Mother of Wands. The inside scoop for you, right? The T for you, dearest Leo, or if you're dealing with a Leo, is to expect things to go in the right direction. Something that you thought was over is actually just beginning. Someone has been doing the investigative work to make sure that when they come back, when they make things right, and for you, dearest Leo, this feels like someone who has what it takes to be a good partner, who has done the work, right? Who has the ability to give you your flowers and honor you on every single level. This is someone that's been watching your posts and watching what you've been up to. So they come in the right way. Virgo, sun, moon, and or rising with the Four of Coins, which is the Four of Pentacles, which can talk about holding on to things too tightly. And when we know when we hold on to things too tightly, we lose them anyway. You're being called, dearest Virgos, to make a decision, right? Not just in love, but in life. Because this decision is going to make all the other things that you need to decide on clear. Going back to the person that got a reading, because that came up um mhm, in the collective, Virgo, you know who, and this doesn't feel like a lover, Virgo, sun, moon, and or rising, or if you're dealing with a Virgo, you know who's been looking you up. You know who's trying to keep you stuck because it serves them. You know who's been feeding off your energy. Let them go. Close the door behind you. Look back. The person who has been getting readings has also been doing spell work, right? Pause. Hello, people. I know because this has come up before on the clock app. Certain people don't believe that spell work works. Oh, I'm protected by the blood of Christ. And I'm covered. Cool, you are. This is why we have guardian angels for. This is why we have escorts and ancestors to protect us. However, when you are dealing with somebody, a lover, a friend, a family member, a coworker who is determined to keep you stuck, their spell work knows no end. You guys heard about that case. I forget the guy's name, right? Whose wife went missing. And they have emails after emails after emails that he sent to all the Etsy. I know they're Etsy witches, right? They keep calling them spellcasters in the news, but I just know it's the Etsy witches, right? And it details what he wanted each person, each spellcaster to do to his wife. They're building a case against him to say that he had to do something. They haven't found her or her. I don't know if I could say that word, right? But you know where this is going. She's no longer amongst the living. This is what it is feared. But he sent dozens upon dozens of spells her way. And now she's no longer here. Not because she wasn't protected, not because she did anything wrong. She probably, well, we could say she saw the signs and stayed anyway because of the kids. But this is a cautionary tale that when somebody wants to really, really come after you, they're going to come after you and not stop until they get you. It's you that has to listen to your intuition and do the hard thing to untangle yourself from that person, leave them, and then close the door behind you and not look back. Okay? Okay. Libra, sun, moon, and or rising, right? Son of Knives, which is like the Knight of Swords. The T is you're going to find that somebody in your life is doing the work. Let them stay in isolation. Let them stay with their head down, right? They're showing me the example of, when they say when toddlers fall, right? Don't react. Let them figure it out and get back on their feet when they have a little fall, of course, right? Because if they see you worried, they're going to get worried, regardless of what they're actually feeling. You need this person to do their feelings, feel their feelings, right? Do the work to work on their own healing. What else do you need to know, right? And understand that there is more fish in the sea. Regardless of how it works out with the person you're thinking of, dearest Libra, regardless of what you hear about, how people treat relationships, if you have a clear vision of what you want in love, you know that vision of love, it has no choice but to manifest for you. But, side note, you got to be open to how it shows up. Because oftentimes it shows up in a way that you do not expect. Scorpio, sun, moon, and or rising. Well, things are changing, right? Things are beginning. A whole new world is opening up for you, not just in love, right? But in life. The tea that you know, the tea as you are sipping tea is to remain unfazed, unbothered, unworried. Know that everything is going to be all right in love and in life. Everything you've poured your energy into has no choice but to bear good fruit. Do you see the theme? Our thoughts become our reality. Our words create our reality. Might as well use the good ones. Might as well use the beautiful ones. Might as well feel the feelings that align with your happily ever after and watch how quickly it manifests into your life. I feel like I said Sagittarius, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra. This was supposed to be Scorpio, but I think I said Sagittarius. This is definitely for Sagittarius. So we're going to go into Scorpio. Sheesh. Because it's the mother of knives, the queen of swords, dearest Scorpio, right? Saying what you want. We've gotten through the other messages that you've been getting over the past 3 weeks about the deep diving you had to do and the hard work you had to do. Some of you, it's your Scorpio that did the hard work. Create those boundaries and do not look back. Do not and I feel like this was said before for you, Scorpio. Do not make it flexible, right? Everybody gets the same boundary because now not only are you protecting your heart, you're protecting what you've created. Where you're going, and this goes back to what was said in the general message about some of you having people that just want to hitch on to your success, hitch on to your ride. They want to eat off your success. They want to eat out of your garden without tending to it, right? So they're going to say anything, do anything, right? Be dramatic AF so that you don't cut them off. Whoever you've been called to cut off, Scorpio, bid sayonara to, do it and do it unapologetically. Do it and like Libra, don't look back, right? Don't look back, don't look back. Don't look back. You're not headed in that direction anyway. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and or rising with the Five of Wands. Changes coming to your domestic situation, your home life, your family life. Be open to how it shows up, and you are being advised, dearest Capricorn. Any beef you have with love, any anger, any disappointment with how love showed up for you, release that with the full moon. Let it go once and for all. And I feel like you've been told that before. Do the work. That happy home that you are envisioning is about to manifest, but it requires you to do the work. This energy, let me cover that word. This energy that you're in and thinking that, oh, it's not going to work out, and it's the, stay in this energy and this is what you're going to get. But the moment you shift things is the moment you come into what's divinely yours. You really have to shift, Capricorn, how you look at life and how you show up for life. Aquarius, sun, moon, and or rising with the Son of Wands, fighting. You have somebody that is fighting to get past their vices, fighting to get past their dark night of the soul. You too are being asked to let the person do the work on their own. This hustling, making it rain, focus, you, Aquarius, your person as well is doing the work, but they have to be left alone, right? Going back to that toddler energy, right? And just letting them figure it out and you just not even on standby. You watching from a distance and praying for them. Praying for your person and seeing the highest version of them, always responding to their higher self, creates the perfect conditions for that higher self to take over or for somebody else to fit that position for you. When you have that vision of love and it's clear and you walk every day, you move every day as if it already is, you see your person as already being that perfect partner, one of two things is going to happen. Your person's going to become that person perfect partner or you will meet your perfect partner. But it requires you to be open and have that clear vision. Pisces, sun, moon, and or rising with wish fulfillment with the star. For some of you, Pisces, you are someone's wish fulfillment. You are someone's answered prayer. They may not have all the words to say it, but this week you're going to find out that somebody's hooked on you and only you. I like how this confirms with all this water energy, right? This feels like kind, right? There's a spiritual meaning behind kind, besides its natural purity and its uses. I'm going to put that in the community post, the spiritual meaning behind cotton. But with the stars and the star and the water, especially if you're dealing with an Aquarius Pisces, expect everything to get better between you and your person because they are so much in love with you. They are so focused on doing right by you once and for all. Aries, sun, moon, and or rising with the three of baskets, which is the three of cups. Expect success. Expect to hear a yes, right? Especially at work. Expect some type of level up at work and expect some type of level up in your relationship status. You two are being asked to be open to the possibilities, regardless of how love showed up for you in the past. On a side note, some of you, love will only show up for you in the way that you want when you let go of that playboy or that playgirl once and for all. That's when your true person, your divine purpose partner, can find you to give you that happily ever after. And last but not least, Taurus, sun, moon, and or rising with this three of coins, right? The three of pentacles. This is giving the energy of creating that vision of love, right? What does love look like? What does stability look like? And then clearing away because it's just her and her vision, right? Clearing away everything that doesn't meet this vision and start showing up as that person. I feel like this came out earlier, right? That's living that life of love with that person, right? Creativity steals your idea, copies your work, duplicates, feeds off of you. Taurus, anybody that's been in your ear telling you that it's too late, that people are this, women are that, men are this, right? People who have been trying to get into your head about what you want for yourself, don't let them. Anything you've been dreaming of, anything you've been creating, not just in love, right? In life, keep going for it. And you are reminded, you all are reminded. People love to see you do good, as long as you're not doing better than them. And it feels like, Taurus, you're about to do a whole lot better than them. If you follow your visions, if you follow your intuition, and do not let their negative Nancy, negative Norman chit chat in your ear get to you. That is the message for the collective. Let's see what you guys are chit chatting about in the comments. If you didn't like the live, please like the live, subscribe, and all of those beautiful, beautiful, beautiful things. Well, hey. Well, hello, Atma. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. The beautiful thing about the sunrise sessions and YouTube is that as soon as we go off, it's automatically available, right? It's just, it doesn't have the timestamps, but if you do the AI video summary, it'll it'll list out what is where. So that's really, really, really cool, um, for you guys to know. So use that information as you may, but I think TikTok needs to have something similar, but YouTube doing a really, really great job. I love it over here. Let's see who I need help creating award. JMax, let's email, let's text later on this afternoon before before 3 Eastern Standard Time. Um, before 3 or after 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. And we'll figure it out. We'll figure what type of ward you need. And you're up early, Krista. You're up very early. Derek, hello. And it feels like you do. It feels like that situation has ended in this form and you need to let go. You feel like someone, and this energy came out throughout the reading, that the person you're connecting with is like, oh, they're not going anywhere. I've been doing this for years. They're not going anywhere. She'll be fine. You got, in order to get different, you got to move differently. Okay, okay. Hey, Puma, how are you? Hi, Amina. Hi, Tony. Hi, Barbara. Exactly, Nicole. And expect a voice note this morning. And you're right, our caregivers are the foundation and the blueprint. We've come up with such pretty words like avoidant and noncommittal and narcissist. But how does the narcissist become? What is their origin story, right? What is the villain's origin story? Hi, Nakia. It is very nice today. Why couldn't it be this nice over the weekend? And but it feels like over here the clouds are coming out. I don't like it. The 90s song I got yesterday was 90s Girl. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. We need a song for today. Hey Google, what's the song that represents today's energy? Who doesn't understand? We're going to figure out a way to end the lives with a motivational song to help carry you through the day. We learned yesterday that we should all have an upbeat playlist filled with good vibe music, right? High energy, high vibration music from 2001 or older, right? Because anything after, they really mess with the frequency of the music to for a variety of reasons. I think on another live, we could get into the frequency of music and how we're using it to manifest and shift energies, right? Right. Before we wrap up, any questions about things that came up on the live? If you like your personal reading, go head over to dream711.com and book your reading. Today, I am booked solid. So any readings will have to be done Friday because I think I'm booked for tomorrow as well. Thank you, Amina. If anything, like you think of, like, oh, during the session, I felt this, or during the session, I felt that, put it in the comments, put it on the community board, right? Those of you who could find my email address, email me. Let's talk about it. Not everything needs to be transactional. But everything needs to be done to make sure you are on the right path towards your happily ever after, towards your peace, towards your wish fulfillment. It all starts with you, though, right? You got to remember, it all starts with you, regardless of the karmics and who's doing what. It's all about what you want. This is your world, right? We're just squirrels trying to get up. Right? You are the captain of the ship. How do you want it to go? What do you want to happen? Once you make it clear what it is, you have that clear vision of what it is you want to happen, then hold space for it to happen, knowing with all of your heart and all of your mind that it is your destiny. Do your favorite dance? I love to dance. Hello. I love to put on some soca music, put on some dancehall, put on some freestyle music. That's it. That's all I need, right? The whole world could end. I will be just fine. Just fine. Dancing my heart off. Woo! I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I trust that everyone, well, first of all, the 18 of you guys still around. I appreciate you. You are the real MVPs. Sticking around on a random Wednesday with Etta, right? Receiving the messages your guys have for you. We do this every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? Around the same sometime between 7:15 and 7:30 ish Eastern Standard Time, right? Give or take. Give or take. It depends on the day and the type of energies, messages that come through before we go live and what messages need to be shared with the collective. But I thank you for spending this part of your morning, of your day with Spirit, the Soul Tribe, and me. Have an amazing day. Know wherever you are in life, every day is another opportunity to get to where you want to be. Focus your thoughts, and we love saying the Lulu is the Salulu. But when we look at it, it's more than just the woo woo, it's more than just the magic. This is scientifically proven, right? When we're talking about thoughts, we're talking about energy. When we're talking about energy, we're talking about frequency. This is why we do a lot of mindset work. As long as you keep your thoughts and your feelings aligned in the direction you want to go, life has no choice but to guide you, bring you, lead you along that direction to your peace, to your happily ever after, to your wish fulfillment. But then again, it all starts with you, your thoughts, your beliefs, your dreams, your actions, what you say. Make sure they're all in alignment with that vision of love you've created for yourself. Have an amazing day. Stay blessed. Ashe.